Ever wondered what would happen if the moon took a vacation and Mars filled in? Picture this, our beloved moon, tired of spinning around us tirelessly, decides to take a much-needed break. I mean, who wouldn't need a vacation after over 4.5 billion years of non-stop work? Perhaps the moon's been feeling a little under the weather, or maybe it's just tired of being taken for granted. After all, how often do we really appreciate its luminous presence? Or maybe, just maybe, it needs to work on its moon tan because, well, it's not easy being pale all year round. And so, after a lot of contemplation, our dear moon finally decides to pack up its craters, put an out-of-office sign on its dark side, and set off for a galaxy far, far away. But wait, who's going to take over its duties? You guessed it right, Mars. Imagine Mars, the red planet, trying to squeeze into the moon's shoes. Quite a sight, isn't it? This celestial swap might sound like a fantastic science fiction plot, but let's humor the idea and see what happens. First off, Mars is about twice the size of our moon. Imagine it trying to fit into the moon's orbit like a grown man trying to fit into a child's suit. It's not just about the size, though. Mars is also much heavier than our moon. It's like replacing a featherweight boxer with a heavyweight one. The gravity of Earth and Mars might start a celestial tug of war, with Earth, unfortunately, on the losing end. Now let's talk about color. Mars, often referred to as the red planet, has a reddish hue due to iron oxide, or what we commonly call rust, on its surface. Now imagine looking up at the night sky and seeing a big red orb instead of our familiar silvery moon. It would be like swapping a gentle lullaby with a rock anthem. Quite an intense change, right? Moreover, Mars has an atmosphere, unlike our moon. This means that instead of the familiar moon's barren and silent landscape, we would have a moon that has weather. Picture this. Dust storms swirling around the moon, creating a red haze around it. It would be a sight straight out of a science fiction novel. And let's not forget about Mars' two tiny moons, Phobos and Deimos. They would be like two little sidekicks trying to tag along, adding to the celestial chaos. So, Mars might be a bit too big and too red to be the perfect moon substitute. It's also a bit too heavy and has its own atmosphere and moons, which could potentially wreak havoc in our Earth's celestial neighborhood. But hey, Mars is trying its best. It might not be the perfect fit, but it sure does make for an interesting thought experiment. How would Earth react to this sudden change in its celestial partner? Quite dramatically, I would say. Let's dive into some of these reactions. Imagine for a moment, you step out one evening, and instead of the familiar silvery glow of the moon, you're met with a radiant red orb hanging in the night sky. Our first reaction, well, a global gasp, followed by a flurry of excitement, and what comes next? Parties, of course. Yes, we humans are quite adaptable, and we would soon be throwing Martian moon parties. With red velvet cakes, red balloons, and even red moon cocktails, these parties would be the talk of the town. But it's not just the parties that would be influenced. The fashion world too would have a field day. Red moon fashion trends would take over the runway, with designers creating collections inspired by our new celestial neighbor. From Martian red lipstick to glowing red accessories mimicking the new moon's hue, our wardrobes would surely get a Martian makeover. Now, let's not forget about the conspiracy theorists and sci-fi enthusiasts among us. There would undoubtedly be a wave of panic over potential Martian invasions. Every unusual occurrence would be attributed to the Martians. Lost your keys? The Martians did it. Internet not working? Martian interference, obviously. Late for work? Blame it on the Martian time warp. The scientific community would not be left out either. There would be a surge in interest in astronomy, as everyone would want to learn more about Mars, our new moon. Telescopes would sell out faster than hotcakes, and Mars would be the hottest topic in every school science fair. In essence, we'd be living in a world gone Martian mad. But isn't that the beauty of it? How a change in the sky could lead to such a burst of creativity and excitement on Earth. It's a testament to the human spirit's adaptability and resilience. Well, it seems Earthlings might actually enjoy having a big red moon, as long as the Martians don't actually invade, of course. Being the moon isn't as easy as it looks. Mars is learning that the hard way. Let's delve into the challenges that Mars, our new substitute moon, is facing. Imagine being suddenly thrust into a role that requires you to control the ebb and flow of Earth's mighty oceans. It's a daunting task, even for a planet that's over 6 times larger than the moon. The gravity of Mars, although higher than that of our previous moon, is not enough to effortlessly handle the Earth's tides. It's like trying to hold back a tidal wave with a teaspoon, yet Mars is flexing its celestial muscles, trying its best to keep our waters in check. And then there's the issue of maintaining orbit. Our previous moon had the perfect balance, close enough to be within reach, yet far enough to maintain a stable orbit. Mars, on the other hand, is like a novice tightrope walker, teetering on the edge of being too close or too far. It's a delicate dance, a gravitational ballet that Mars is learning to master. But it's not all struggles and hardships for Mars, there have been triumphs too. One of the biggest wins for Mars is the sheer spectacle it provides in our night sky. It's like having a giant glowing ruby hanging in the darkness, its red hues casting a mesmerizing glow that's a photographer's delight and a poet's inspiration. The sight alone has sparked a renewed interest in space and astronomy, with people gazing up in wonder at our new, larger, and redder moon. Mars has also become a beacon for future space exploration. With its proximity, the dream of setting foot on Mars seems a little less distant, a little more within our grasp. It's an exciting prospect that's fueling scientific advancements and inspiring the next generation of space explorers. Despite its struggles, Mars is doing a stellar job as our new moon, literally. After a well-deserved break, our moon is ready to return. But what have we learned from its absence? The moon's hiatus and Mars' temporary substitution have taught us a great deal about these celestial bodies and their unique roles in our cosmic ballet. As the moon makes its much-anticipated return, we humans, Earth's inhabitants, might feel a sense of relief, a feeling of familiarity restored. The moon, with its comforting steady glow, has always been a beacon in the night sky, a light in the darkest hours. Its return might just remind us of the calm, the tranquility it has always offered, and how deeply we've missed it. On the other hand, Mars's stint as our temporary moon has shed light on the red planet's unique characteristics, its fiery red glow, its larger size. Mars, the fourth planet from the Sun, with its rusty red hue and towering Olympus Mons, has been a spectacle in our night sky. It's shown us the beauty of difference, the excitement of change, and the wonder that the universe holds. The lessons learned from this cosmic swap are many. We've learned about the moon's influence on our planet, from our tides to our sleep cycles. We've discovered the importance of the moon's stabilizing effect on Earth's axial tilt, contributing to our planet's habitability. We've also learned about Mars's potential. Its brief tenure in our sky has sparked conversations about space exploration, about the possibilities that lie in our solar system, and beyond. Mars, with its similarities to Earth, has ignited our curiosity and our ambition to reach further into the cosmos. So what have we learned? Mars might make a fun, albeit dramatic substitute, but there's no replacement for our beloved moon. And Mars? Well, it's pretty amazing just being Mars. Now, if only we could convince the moon to take a vacation more often.